I encountered my future wife when Natasha joined the workplace. Her presence immediately captivated me, and I found myself actively seeking her attention. After 2 months, we embarked on a relationship, and within 3 more months, I proposed to her. Our love blossomed, leading us to the joyous occasion of our wedding. During that time, I possessed a 3-room apartment inherited from my grandmother. It became our humble abode where we started our life together. Meanwhile, Natasha owned a 2-room apartment located in the suburban area, approximately 30 minutes away by car. Together, we made the decision to rent out her apartment, enabling us to generate a steady income from the property. With our combined efforts and the rental income, we enjoyed a comfortable life. We were fortunate to work together at a reputable company, contributing to our financial stability. We were also blessed with the privilege of raising a son who successfully gained admission to a military school, where he is currently pursuing his studies. One fateful day, we decided to renovate our bedroom. As the construction team was scheduled to arrive in a couple of days, I began the process of clearing out the closets to make room for the renovations. During this time, my wife went to visit her parents who reside in the suburban area. While sorting through the shelves, I stumbled upon a black bag. Although initially unsure of its contents, I couldn't resist the curiosity that welled up inside me. I reluctantly decided to peek inside, unaware of the emotional turmoil that awaited me. To my surprise, the bag contained numerous letters, some written in Natash's own handwriting, while others were authored by an unknown individual. Despite my hesitation, I found myself compelled to read through them. Within the depths of the closet, I stumbled upon a collection of letters that had been penned by my wife many years prior, during a time when our paths had not yet crossed. These heartfelt messages were written to a man named Maxim, whom she evidently loved deeply at that stage of her life. As I delved into the pages, I became immersed in a whirlwind of emotions, encountering expressions of love, tenderness, and passion that left me bewildered. Until that moment, I had perceived my wife as someone reserved in showcasing her emotions and sentiments. Yet these letters painted a different picture, a version of her that was unabashedly open and vulnerable. Maxim, the recipient of her affections, reciprocated her love in equal measure. As I navigated the tumultuous sea of these intimate writings, I failed to notice Natasha's return. An eruption of chaos ensued as she discovered me engrossed in her personal letters. Accusing me of invading her privacy and displaying a lack of decency, Natasha unleashed her anger with ferocity. We engaged in heated arguments, and for 2 long weeks, our home was marred by silence. Consumed by guilt, I questioned my decision to read those letters that had been penned 2 decades ago. Time passed, and I eventually mustered the courage to offer my sincerest apologies to my wife. The incident gradually faded from our minds, and we strived to rebuild our relationship. However, 1 month later, I received an unexpected call from a woman who identified herself as our downstairs neighbor. Troubled by a persistent wet spot that had appeared on her ceiling, she sought assistance in reaching Natasha. It dawned on me immediately that this woman was referring to the tenants residing in the aforementioned apartment, the very same tenants we had entrusted with our former abode. In response, I advised her to kindly knock on their door and inquire about the situation. As the narrative unfolded, I couldn't help but wonder why Natasha had chosen to keep those letters, a tangible reminder of the tenderness and love she once shared with another man. Feelings of anger and jealousy resurfaced within me, intertwining with the threads of forgiveness and understanding that we had painstakingly woven together. The neighbor's response left me utterly taken aback as she informed me that no one had occupied the apartment for an entire year. Confusion clouded my thoughts, and I promised the neighbor that I would arrive within 30 minutes. Throughout the journey, I persistently dialed my wife's number, desperate for an explanation. However, her phone remained turned off, intensifying my growing apprehension. After approximately 40 minutes, I stood before the door of an apartment I hadn't set foot in for years. A pair of familiar shoes, my wife's, and a set of men's sneakers greeted me on the doorstep. A sinking feeling enveloped me as I stepped inside, knowing all too well what awaited me. As events unfolded, I discovered that my wife had reignited her past love with Maxim, her youthful flame, 6 months ago. Despite him also being committed to another family residing in a different city, their old feelings had rekindled, leading them to orchestrate a secret haven within the apartment. It became their clandestine love nest, a place where they indulged in nostalgia and revisited the cherished letters from their youth. Regrettably, my wife had failed to conceal the letters adequately, which served as the catalyst for my shocking revelation. She accepted our impending divorce with surprising calmness and moved into the apartment, the same apartment that had harbored her extramarital affair. Thankfully, my son stood firmly by my side, providing unwavering support. Although he occasionally stayed with his mother during visits, he couldn't fathom or forgive her actions. The once strong bond between Natasha and our son had suffered irreparable damage. As for her lover, he remained rooted in his existing family, periodically venturing to visit Natasha. She had indeed forfeited her family and now lives alone, the consequences of her choices reverberating throughout her life.